My name is Litia and I'm from the beautiful island of Laos and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Casey, I'm from Tabua. We love Today FM in Tabua. Today FM rocks.
My name is Selina, I'm from Tavengavengamba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Pula, my name is Carlo. I love listening to the music in Today FM, in Malak Island. Today FM rock.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, former Education Minister's bribery trial begins. Over 200 families benefit from renewed leases. And Fiji National Polling Venue Directory launched.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Smith.
Former Education Minister Dr. Mahendra Reddy's trial began in the Suva Magistrates Court this morning. Dr. Reddy is charged with 1 count of bribery and 1 count of undue influence by the Fiji Independent Commission Against Corruption. Shireen Shivan with the details.
Dr. Mahendra Reddy is alleged to have offered a steady water source for Ra High School to influence the vote of the school manager, Waisea Lembombo. By doing so, he allegedly interfered with the free exercise or performance of Lembombo's political right. The complainant himself was the first prosecution witness and told the court that he has managed Ra High School since 2010. During the questioning process, Paikek Senior Counsel Rashmi Aslam asked the witness whether he was engaged in politics, to which Lembombo replied that he was the campaigns manager for the Sodelpa party. Surprisingly, Aslam asked his own witness which political party he voted for in the 2014 general elections, which raised an objection from the defense, who said that the privacy of Lembombo's vote was his right. The witness then recalled the day when a meeting was organized by the Education Ministry at Penang Sangam High School and a circular was sent to all schools telling the managers to attend. Lembombo said they were told that Dr. Reddy would speak to them on how to better utilize their resources. The witness said that during the meeting he questioned Dr. Reddy on the progress of water issues faced by the school since they had to get water from Buranitu village, which was 12 miles away. He claims that Dr. Reddy told him not to go to the media regarding his concerns and told him that if he engages himself with Dr. Reddy's party in the next general elections, then water will be supplied to the school. 3 other witnesses will take this stand on Friday. Sharin Shivan, FBC News.
200 families will benefit after the Ministry of Lands conducted a roadshow in the Western Division to hand out the agricultural and residential leases. Minister Fayaz Koya says the 99-year leases were in the pipeline and should not be misconstrued as political point scoring. Maggie Boyle reports.
Residents in Raki Bar and Tavor were the first to get their hands on new leases.
With the security of land ownership, the possibilities of prosperity are boundless and chances of wealth accumulation, so to speak, become tenfold. And through receiving these leases, I hope and trust that you are on your way to ensuring the success for your families.
Koya says these state leases took some time before they were finalized.
This handing over of renewed agricultural leases and approval notices has been an ongoing exercise and is in no way, absolutely in no way fueled by political ambition, and it must not be portrayed as such.
FBC News understands some leases queried the new land rental rates and how its increase could be a challenge.
The ministry is here for the general public who are our patrons. And so today, after receiving your lease documents, do not be afraid to inform me of any challenges that you may have faced in the past so that it can be sorted out.
The ministry team wrapped up their roadshow today with leases awarded to residents in Sinatoka, Nandi and Latoka. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Fiji's first national polling venue directory was launched by the Elections Office today and given to principals of schools in Suva. Supervisor of Elections Mohammed Saneem says the directory has all the information on the polling stations around the country. Sainani Boiler reports.
This is the first time the Fijian Elections Office has compiled a directory which has the necessary information on polling venues, the number of valid voters in a particular polling station, and the means of communication available in a particular station.
We went and inspected every polling venue physically. And we then compiled this directory, and then we plotted all these venues through the GPS coordinates that we obtained on the map of PG.
Electoral Commission Chair Suresh Chandra says this will ensure that information relevant to the upcoming election is readily available to the public.
Whilst these printed volumes are for school libraries, anyone can access the online version at the FEO, the Fiji Elections Office website. I particularly like the feature online that can give you directions to your located polling venue.
This new book will be distributed by the Fiji Elections Office to all secondary schools around the country by next week. The book will also be made available to the public. Sainiani Mboila, FBC News.
Fiji has improved its inequality standing within Asia Pacific. Attorney General Ayasaid Kayu made the revelation at the opening of a training workshop for media practitioners on human rights yesterday. The AG says more credible analysis is needed when it comes to Fiji's human rights discourse. Around 25 journalists from media outlets and community organizations are attending the workshop.
Fiji's case, of course, the recent study shows that inequality in Fiji actually has dropped. It's one of the 5 countries, only 5 countries in the entire Asia-Pacific region where inequality has dropped. So that obviously is a very positive space to be in, but of course there's a lot more work that needs to be done.
Still to come, BSP donates $20,000 to WOW's Kids Fiji. And Crimestoppers comes to FBC. That's coming up.
Moala radada ranavika au tikongona taunu singatoka andou talisaka na vakaronga na Mbula FM number 2 na serre.
Ya dora subuni kurna bili. Iborani batukara hambara binaranga. Do talitakina na varonga na Mbula FM number 2 na serre.
Bula FM number 2 na serre.
The Fiji Broadcasting Corporation will broadcast a Crimestoppers show in conjunction with the Fiji Police Force starting in November. Police Commissioner Brigadier General Sitiveni Ngilio says disseminating information about criminal activities will help officers with their investigations. Kelly Vadala reports.
FBC signed a memorandum of understanding with Crimestoppers today to keep Fijians around the country informed of criminal issues.
We cannot be everywhere at any given time, but we are working closely with community members, and I must thank Crimestoppers in coming and assisting in a big way in this engagement. I know even some years ago Crimestoppers was struggling in its engagement with the police force, but I know we're back on track now with FBC on board. We are happy, and we have staff that are very experienced, that are capable of coming out and assisting.
FBC Manager TV Operations Vinal Raj says the show will reach a wider audience, especially with the launch of FBC's new channel.
A few weeks' time we are about to launch another channel which is going to be called FBC2. So what we're going to do is the program will be launched in November. That is when it's FBC's 6th birthday, FBC TV's 6th birthday. So we're going to launch the program then. So we have a bit of time to train the presenters from the Fiji Police Force. Yes. And we are about to also launch our streaming services as well, where we will stream to computers and mobile devices, so everyone will be able to watch the programs anywhere at any time.
The program will broadcast information such as wanted criminals, missing persons, theft cases, stolen cars, and advice on public safety. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
BSP continues to support WOW's Kids Fiji. Today it donated $20,000 to benefit 51 children with cancer. Manager Kevin McCarthy and 2 other staff had their heads shaved as part of the Shave or Save campaign, despite the fact they had raised the targeted amount. Savara Tumbo reports 2-year-old Kathy Rainima is one of the cancer patients who will benefit from this donation.
Taking care of a cancer patient is not easy and without assistance from concerned agencies. Kathy's mom, Teru Devalala, explains the hardships she faced after her baby was diagnosed with the disease.
It was hard for me to leave my other 2 kids at home and be in the hospital all the time. But I was thankful that I had faith in myself, that my daughter would be cured. Because what the doctor said, that the treatment will last 2 years, and it was 80% that they can cure her.
BSP manager Kevin McCarthy says they will continue supporting the WOWS initiative for the children's benefit.
Which all came from our staff members, and as I've said, BSP has topped that up to a $20,000 donation. So I'm incredibly proud of our staff and our continued support for this great charity, WOWS.
So from Lautoka alone, our taxi transportation costs us about almost 4,000. And then in Suva, that's the same case too. Suva, our transportation goes close to 2,000. And then we provide food vouchers on a weekly basis. We provide telephone vouchers to our parents.
WOWS Kids Fiji looks after 27 children in Suva and 23 in Lautoka. Sadly, 9 children passed away from the disease this year. Samira Tambua, FBC News.
The government has created many opportunities for Fijians, and the onus is upon everyone to make use of them. This was stressed by Minister for Women Mereseni Vuniwanga as she launched the Fiji Development Bank's Northern Global Golden Jubilee last night. Vilimaina Ngelevuki has more.
The Fijian government will continue to provide you with incentives and opportunities to grow, but the onus is on you to make that first move.
This statement follows an initiative that was introduced to waive fees for loans under the Fiji Development Bank.
That of September the 1st, for a 6-month period, all application fees for loans under $20,000 will be waived, along with establishment fees for all loans up to $5,000.
The promotion is targeted towards the small and medium enterprises and those linked with the agriculture sector.
This promotion is our 50th anniversary deal for existing and new clients. We call it the No Frills Loans. This promotion is initiated to encourage Fijians to access financing for developing their businesses and capacity in sustaining their businesses.
This is part of the FDB's contribution to the government's vision for development and providing Fijians with opportunities for entrepreneurship at the grassroots levels. Vilimaina Ngelevuki, FBC News.
Municipal councils are still facing issues with overdue rates, which is running into millions of dollars. Minister for Local Government Parveen Bala says people need to make arrangements in order to keep up with their payments.
What we have observed in the last few years, that there are certain percentages, they are just sitting with it. They don't want to come forward, they don't want to come and make any sort of arrangement. So I would like to urge those type of people to come forward, and please, if you have some difficulties, go and talk to your respective municipalities, and definitely they will assist. And there is procedures in place, there are some policies in place.
First observed in Fiji last year, Constitution Day will be celebrated tomorrow. President retired General Chiochi Kondote and Prime Minister Vurenge Bainimarama will lead the celebrations at Churchill Park in Lautoka. The march will begin at 9:15 a.m. from Shirley Park to Churchill Park, with government ministers, parliament members, civil society organizations, school students and the general public taking part. Every Fijian is invited to join in celebrating our country's constitution, which defines our rights as Fijians. You can tune into FBC TV from 9:30 to 12 p.m. for the entire live coverage. Ahead in sports with Jamie, Fiji 7's extended squad has first training session, but up next is Rachel with business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up in business tonight. New home loans for HFC Bank customers. And in growing Fiji, bridge repairs underway in Bua. Stay with us.
मैं प्रेमिला वायरुकू रेकी रेकी से सुबह मेरी आँख खुलती है तो मैं मिर्ची एफएम सुनती हूँ। मिर्ची एफएम इज नंबर 1। इट्स सो हॉट।
हम लोग बार टाउन के कैरियर ड्राइवर लोगों ने हम लोग के मिर्ची एफएम सुनो अच्छा लगे। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट।
हाय, मैं संध्या नारिया रेफ्रिकी से मेरे सारे दोस्त मिर्ची एफएम सुनते हैं। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट। आई लव मिर्ची एफएम।
हमें स्पिन टोटो ताबुआ के मिर्ची एफएम में सबसे अच्छा गाना बजे।
मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट।
Welcome back. Lead in business tonight. Great news for first home buyers as HFC Bank launched a new home loan today. The loan offers customers a 4.25% per annum interest rate fixed for 5 years. Here's the explanation. The initiative follows the government's priority to make home ownership affordable for Fijians.
We were the bank through the Association of Bank made a submission during the budget forum to the government to look at where banks like HFC could access funds cheaply through central bank. And we are quite proud of this initiative being taken by government and central bank.
The new loan also offers customers a 10% equity, which is inclusive of first home government grant scheme and the FNPF total.
This is generally to the people who got income up to $50,000, so you are looking at approximate of 200,000 loan for people. Young generation who has gone into our workforce, those people in the civil service, these are the people that we are targeting.
Eligibility for the loan requires an annual or household income of $50,000.
If they're buying a home and that particular property has a rental component to it, or it has 1 or 2, 3 flats that's earning you income, so it's supposed to be inclusive. So the rental income plus your salary gives you a 50,000.
The two major components of an ideal home loan are interest rates and equity, which HFC Bank has made easier for first home buyers. And we now join Elizabeth from HFC Bank with the latest from the money market.
Good evening. The Fijian dollar strengthened against the US dollar by 22 points today. The US dollar fell on concern about North Korea's largest nuclear test. Adding to the fall was the comment by Federal Reserve Governor Lyle Brainard. He said that inflation was well short of target, so the Fed should be cautious about raising U.S. interest rates. The comments has cast more doubt over the likelihood of another rate hike this year. U.S. stocks also slipped. The S&P 500 sank 0.76% and the Dow Jones lost 1.1%. And that is all from me, Vinaka.
Thanks, Elizabeth. You're looking at today's exchange rates and foreign currencies in the Fijian dollar. The Fijian dollar strengthened against the Chinese yuan and the American dollar to close at 3.17 and 48 cents respectively. But it weakened against the Australian and New Zealand dollar to close at 60 and 66 cents, while it strengthened to close at 1.37. As for the commodities market, an increase across the index today as oil prices rose to close at 48.62 a barrel. Gold closed at 1,341 an ounce, and silver rose to close at 17.93 an ounce. And in Growing Fiji tonight, bridge repairs, including the layering of stones on the embankment to prevent erosion, are currently underway in Wainunu district of Bua. Fulton Hogan Highways Renewal and Project Engineer North, Joe and Maafu, says their 6-member crew has completed work on the 2 bridges and is working on the 3rd. These bridges are in Nakawakawa and Nakoro level, while current works are being carried out in Daria Bridge. Maafu says work at Daria may take several months to complete as it depends on the weather conditions and water levels of the river. Around 1,500 people live in the district of Wainunu. And that's business this evening. Now to the latest in sports. Here's Jamie.
Thank you, Rachel, and good evening in sports tonight. Fiji and Drua aim to do better in NRC Game 2. And doors open for Fijian cricketers to play and study in Australia. This and more coming up.
Bula, Keron mai singatoka, Keron do talita kana varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kung minasama po sekolah untuk talita kana Radio Fiji 1 kena Domoy Viti.
Kaya ko sila tale, nagurara may nawamanyi, nandunga. Gitu talita gini ang gagawin sa bale, nagudurong barong na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti na bonga ni BNN.
Fiji Airways Ndrua Huka Samu Sunguturanga, accused of biting Brisbane City skipper Andrew Reddy on Saturday, has been handed a 20-week ban. Sunguturanga faced the NRC judiciary at Ballymore last night, where he pleaded guilty to the charge of biting. Reddy complained to referee Damon Murphy after the first half scrum that he had been bitten, but there was no action taken on the field. He was later charged, and Judicial Officer Paul Tully found that the conduct was on the high end of the scale, providing an entry point of 24 weeks. The Fiji Airways Ndrua side now has a fair idea of what to expect in the National Rugby Championship. A lot of lessons were learned in their 45-36 loss to Brisbane City, and the Senirusi Serubakula side is expected to come out firing against Melbourne Rising this weekend. Rohit there with the story.
First one down, and there's another 7 games to go. The Fiji Ndrua side has gained a lot of exposure from its first outing.
It's in the first game, and the team's new to this to the NRC. What I can say that it's the first time they're playing in the competition with a lot of experienced opponent.
Serubakula says despite the loss, his team played well and they know what to do in the second match.
Proud of how the boys played on Saturday. On the first half, it was a lot of scramble, and then in the second half we come back, but it was too late. And the boys know now how to play in this competition in this NRC.
Blanca Mosesevoka was named in the Team of the Week and knows his team can win this weekend.
Like a new experience, a new competition at higher level. Like the boys really come up to the par, but we really enjoyed.
The side takes on Marika Korimbete's Melbourne Rising at 5 p.m. on Saturday. They then return to Fiji for 2 home games. Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
The Vodafone Fiji extended 30-member squad had its first hit-out at Singatoka's Lawanga Park today. This gave coach Gareth Baber a chance to assess the players after a long break. Rohit Deo with the story.
It's more than 2 months away from the start of the World 7 Series, but Fiji and coach Gareth Baber isn't wasting time.
Seem to be going well. They've had an off-season which has pretty much been based around improving their strength work in the gym. They've worked hard at that for about 8 weeks, and they come back from a week off. And we're getting them back into the running now, hence we're down here. The weather's good. It's good to see on a good surface as well here down at in Singatoka to be able to put them through their paces.
Some players did look bulky in today's session, but Baber says he wasn't expecting anything more.
To be done, but you know, I'm where I expected them to be after an off-season which has been based, as I said, largely around their gym work. But we've got a good period of time now in which to transition that into the running, into what Sevens running looks like, and we'll certainly be doing that over the next 3 weeks and take that through into like September, October.
Pacific Sprint King Banuve Tambakaudor is also part of the squad, aiming to make the national squad.
I'm just happy to be here down in Singatoka. New training ground, the sun is up, so it's going to be pretty tough. Usually I did all the training in Suva, which is nice and wet. But now I'm just looking forward to the sessions with the boys and the other experienced boys in the team.
Jerry Tuai, Apisain Domolailai, Amenoni Nasila, Sitirekin Bituniata, Mesulame Kunavula and Kalione Nasoko were some of the seasonal players in today's session. The camp runs 4 days a week for the next 3 weeks. Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
Fiji Pearls coach Vicky Wilson has reminded her players to grab every opportunity they can in the opening test match against South Africa, which is currently underway at Suva's Vodafone Arena. The 12-member squad has been working on their preliminary moves and attack and expect a tough encounter from the Spa Proteas. Wilson says the test series is a great opportunity for players to be exposed to international competition as they eye the 2018 Commonwealth Games.
As I keep telling the girls, there's not too many women who have represented Fiji in netball. We're quite a unique group, and they should be really, really proud of their talents.
Fiji's next match against South Africa will be on Friday at 6:30 p.m. at the same venue. Fijian weightlifter Manueli Tulo won a gold medal at the Oceania Championships in the Gold Coast today. He lifted 107 kilograms in the snatch and 135 kilograms in the clean and jerk, narrowly missing a 140 kilogram try. Meanwhile, Fiji's Pua Manganga won the bronze medal in the Commonwealth Junior Championships. Puama also won the gold medal in the Oceania Junior Championships and another bronze medal in the Oceania Senior Championships. Playing more games overseas and exposing players to higher playing standards is top of the agenda for Fiji football coach Christoph Gamel as the Vodafone national football side returns home from the Indonesian tour. Gamel had talks with a few agents in Indonesia, and it's likely that one or two of our Fijian players will be asked to play abroad during the transfer window in November.
Fiji shows some skills, and already I have appointed one or two agents, and you have seen them yesterday. Maybe in the future could be bright.
The New Zealand football side will represent Oceania in November's Intercontinental Playoff for place at next year's FIFA World Cup in Russia. Yesterday, New Zealand held Solomon Islands to a 2-2 draw and won 8 goals to 3 on aggregate to win the Oceania division after 6-1 first leg win last Saturday. Athletics Fiji and the Fiji National Sports Commission have teamed up to boost the development of athletics in Fiji. Apart from focusing on the development of elite athletes, the objective of the agreement is to target athletes at the grassroots level. Ironi Tuinuku reports.
A big day for athletics in Fiji, as the main focus of today's signing is to identify, nurture and expose hidden talents.
Normally we come to Peter, we always come in asking for money, but this time around the role has been reversed. So Athletics Fiji and the board has decided to donate a brand new kit to Sports Commission so that they can continue and successfully run their programs throughout the country.
Instead of requesting for funds from the Sports Commission, Athletics Fiji will now work hand in hand with the Fiji National Sports Commission to help the athletes.
The main job of the Sports Commission is the development of sports. It's not just giving out money, you know. We tend to concentrate on what we're giving to the elite. We as a unit and all my staff are principally working on developing sports and physical activity to all levels in schools, from the very young to the elderly. So in the past it's just been concentrated a bit too much on to the elite. We are hoping to build the next generation of sports people for Fiji, and that's our job.
The Fiji National Sports Commission will carry out the task to identify local talents around the country and inform Athletics Fiji to groom and expose the flair within. Eroni Tuinuku, FBC Sports.
Cricket Fiji has been boosted by the Murrayfield West Cricket Club in Melbourne, Australia, which has opened up the door for our local players to get overseas exposure. 5 Fiji reps will have the first opportunity to sign a contract with the club, an agreement that serves to facilitate the movement of cricket players recommended by Cricket Fiji to play, work and live in Murrayfield for a period of 6 months. Murrayfield West Cricket Club President Brent Shaw says his team is looking forward to meeting the Fijian boys.
The agreement is that 5 players are coming over to Australia for our cricket season. The end goal, or the goal is to get them get back into Division 5 cricket, which is I think will be achievable with a full 6-month program in Australia.
The Australian rugby side will try to deliver a performance against South Africa that Perth fans can be proud of this week after news that the Western Force has been axed from Super Rugby. Today's play of the day comes from the US Open. 29th seed Diego Schwartzman of Argentina reached the US Open quarterfinal by beating number 16 seed Lucas Poel. There were some great shots in the match. That's it from sports. Catch weather later on with Angie, and in new media, Google Glass app helps autistic children read social cues. That's coming up.
I'm Andrea Sorbakroa of Neabu Wenebuga Telebu. Whenever I want to tune in to listen to great music, I always tune in to my favorite radio station, Gold FM, only the classic.
My name is Lita. We love listening to Gold FM here at the Fiji Hideaway Resort and Spa. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
We're here at Kano Waterfront Lautoka. Love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
The Autism Society estimates about 1% of the world's population is on the autism spectrum. The disorder can affect a person's ability to interact with others and respond to emotions and social cues. But a new app for Google Glass might help. And it's weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. We had some scattered showers which didn't stick around for too long. Sunshine came for rescue. I know most of us are quite eager to know about tomorrow's conditions. Since it's a holiday, we'll find out. Let's take a quick look in the west. An amazing day full of sunshine. It wasn't that muggy at all. Eastwards from Peck Harbour to Suva, it was a bit rainy, but afternoon sunny spells were something to see. And up in Vanuatu, pleasant conditions with low clouds. At sea, southeast winds 20 to 25 knots with rough seas. And for the tides, high tide tomorrow morning will be at 3:21 with a low tide at 9:50. See the beauty of sunrise at 6:13. For tomorrow, most will be in luck to enjoy Constitution Day holiday as skies will be mostly clear, just a little rain indicated for the Northern Division. Tomorrow's temps, Suva and Lambasa will be the warmest at 31 degrees. And looking further into Friday, there will be a mix of bright sunshine and scattered showers. And that's our FBC weather for tonight. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. On Fijian Pulse today, we asked, how are you spending Constitution Day?
Tomorrow's Constitution Day, I'll be spending my day at work, so it's gonna be work for me.
I'll just be spending time at home. It's my day off, so I'll be spending Constitution Day with my family and friends.
It's a good time for reflection, you know, with families, family members, and looking back through time from colonial to Republican, and now to the new constitution that we have. It's just a good day for reflection.
In the world of the weird and the wonderful, meet Mieko, a 103-year-old swimmer training for her next race. Recapping the main stories, Education Minister's bribery trial begins. Over 200 families benefit from renewed leases, and Fiji National Polling Venue Directory launched. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question this week, we are asking, is there a split in the Sudalpa party? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day was sent by Vishal Raj. The picture was taken along the coastlines of Nawaimanda. The villagers and students are making their way to the ancestral burial site just along the coast in Rakiraki. Send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, we're wishing you all a happy Constitution Day for tomorrow. Stay safe. Good night.
I'm another of Whenever I want to tune in to listen to great music, I always tune in to my favorite radio station, Gold FM, only the classic.
My name is Lita. We love listening to Gold FM here at the Fiji Hideaway Resort and Spa. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
We here at Kano Waterfront Lautoka love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.